So you're thinking about stepping up your travel game, right? Maybe getting into those fancy airport lounges or earning miles faster? Well, you've probably heard about the Capital One Venture X card. It really shook things up when it launched, offering premium perks without the insane price tag of some other cards. I'm looking at you, Amex Platinum. But here we are in 2025. Travel is always changing, card benefits shift. So is the Venture X still worth it? Does it still give you amazing value compared to big players like Amex and Chase? Is this a card that you get the bonus on and then cancel after the first year, or is this a keeper card? Stick around because we are breaking it down. We'll do a full cards benefits breakdown. We're also going to discuss how those statement credits actually work to save you money, what's up with airport lounge access, and how to use those transfer partners like a pro with all of the other cool stuff packed into this card. By the end of this, you'll know for sure if the Venture X fits your travel style and your wallet. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, the annual fee is $395. Yeah, it sounds hefty, and it definitely puts it in the premium card category, way above your basic travel cards. But, and this is a big but, a huge part of this card's appeal is how it helps you cancel out that fee with credits and bonus miles. We'll crunch those numbers in just a bit. Now, who can get this card? You'll need excellent credit. Capital One doesn't give an exact score, but think somewhere in like the mid 700s or higher to feel confident. Here's something else to keep in mind. Capital One can be a little sensitive if you've been applying for a ton of credit cards recently. Some folks with great scores and income have gotten denied because they've opened too many cards too quickly. It seems like Capital One prefers people who plan to stick with a card long term and who don't have the profile of a churner. Stick around to the end and I'll share a tip on how you can get around this. So where does the Venture X fit into the travel card world? It gives you a lot of the high-end perks that you see on cards that cost $550, $600, even close to $700 a year. Things like great lounge access and those valuable credits. But it delivers them at a $395 price point. It's aimed right at people who want serious travel benefits but aren't quite ready to pay the absolute top dollar. Okay, let's talk about the fun part, earning those Capital One miles. The Venture X gives you a few solid ways to do this. That big welcome bonus, hello, 75,000 miles. Right off the bat, as a new card holder, you can snag 75,000 bonus miles. The catch, you need to spend $4,000 on the card in your first 3 months. That breaks down to about $1,300 a month, which is pretty standard for these kinds of premium cards. What are those 75,000 miles worth? Well, at the very least, if you use them through the Capital One travel portal or to wipe your travel purchases off of your statement, they're worth 1 cent each. So that's $750 towards travel right there. But here's where it gets interesting. If you transfer those miles to Capital One's airline and hotel partners, and we'll talk more about how to do this later, then you could potentially get way more value and easily get 2 cents per point or more. That can make your 75,000 bonus miles worth like $1,500. See? Big potential. One of my favorite things about the Venture X is that you earn 2 miles for every single dollar that you spend on anything. Groceries, gas, dinner, online shopping, paying bills, it doesn't matter the category, you get 2x miles with no limits. So why is this awesome? A lot of other travel cards have complicated bonus categories. So maybe 5x on flights booked through their portal and like 3x on dining, but then 1x on everything else. With the Venture X, you don't have to think about it. It's a fantastic catch-all card for all of the spending that doesn't fit into those specific bonus categories on other cards, otherwise known as Unbonus Spend. This is often the card that I'll put in my player two's wallet because then I know that he's getting 2x on all of his purchases instead of just 1x. So the simplicity of this can help you rack up more points on your purchases in an effortless way. Now, if you're willing to book your trips through the travel portal, the Venture X kicks things into high gear. You get 10 miles per dollar on hotels and rental cars booked through the portal. And you get 5 miles per dollar on flights and vacation rentals booked through the portal. These are some impressive earning rates, and they definitely make it tempting to book through Capital One Travel. But here's the catch. When you book hotels or flights through a third-party site like Capital One Travel, you won't earn loyalty points or elite night credits with programs like Marriott Bonvoy or Hilton Honors. Plus, if something goes wrong, like a flight change or a hotel issue, it can be trickier to fix since you're dealing with a middleman. That said, Capital One Travel does offer some cool features like price prediction, price drop protection, and price matching. So the real question is, are those extra Capital One miles worth giving up the benefit of booking directly with the airline or hotel? That's up to you. Okay, so back to that $395 annual fee. How do we make it sting less and even make it profitable? Every year that you have the card, you get up to $300 to use like a coupon for travel that you book through the Capital One travel portal. This works for flights, hotels, rental cars, pretty much anything travel related on their site. If you spend at least $300 on travel through their portal each year, this credit basically knocks $300 right off of the annual fee. On top of the travel credit, starting after your first year with the card, Capital One gives you 10,000 bonus points for every year that your anniversary rolls around. These miles are worth a minimum of $100 if you redeem them for travel at 1 cent per point. And just like the welcome bonus, if you transfer them strategically, they can be worth even more. Okay, let's do some math. You take the $395 annual fee, subtract the $300 credit, and subtract $100 minimum value of the anniversary miles. And what do you get? -$5. So this makes it seem like Capital One is literally paying you $5 a year to keep this card, assuming that you use those benefits. But hold on, there are a few ifs here. First, you have to spend that $300 through the Capital One travel portal each year to get the full credit. Second, you'll only earn those 10,000 anniversary miles after your first year when you pay the fee for the second year. Third, that $100 value is the minimum. Getting more requires transferring miles. So while that -$5 effective fee is a great way to show the card's potential, it really depends on you. If you travel enough to use the portal credit and plan to keep the card for more than a year, you can definitely come out ahead. But if you rarely travel or hate booking through the portal, you might not get the full value back just from having those credits. Beyond earning miles and getting credits, the Venture X throws in a bunch of premium perks to make your trip smoother and more enjoyable. Lounge access. This is a big one for premium cards. The Venture X gives you access to lounges in a few different ways. You get free access to Capital One's own branded lounges, and you can bring up to 2 guests with you for free each time. These lounges are seriously nice. Think modern design, good food, often locally sourced, craft cocktails, quiet rooms, showers, even Pelotons in some. You'll find them in Dallas, Denver, Washington, D.C., and Las Vegas. They also have a cool landing concept, so like more focused on great food and drinks at Reagan National in D.C. And they'll also be adding new lounges at New York JFK and another landing at New York LaGuardia. You also get a free Priority Pass Select membership. This unlocks access for you and up to 2 guests to over 1,300 lounges all over the world. You do need to sign up for a Priority Pass separately using a link that Capital One provides you. You can also get into Plaza Premium lounges with your Priority Pass membership. This might be the most underrated perk. You can add up to 4 authorized users on your Venture X card for free. And here's the kicker. Each of those authorized users gets their own free access to Capital One lounges and their own Priority Pass membership, and they can bring 2 guests as well. So this is huge value, especially for families or if you travel with friends often. Other premium cards like the Amex Platinum charge a hefty fee, like almost $200 per card, for authorized users to get similar lounge access. The Venture X makes lounge access way more affordable for groups and families. Global entry and TSA PreCheck credit. The Venture X gives you up to $120 back as a statement credit every 4 years to cover the application fee for either global entry or TSA PreCheck. Just pay the fee with your Venture X card and you'll get the credit. It works for whichever one you apply for first. Pro tip, try going for global entry. It includes TSA PreCheck plus faster US customs when you come back from traveling abroad. If you rent cars, the Venture X has some awesome benefits. Hertz President Circle status. So you automatically get bumped up to top tier President Circle status with Hertz Gold Plus rewards. This means that you can often skip the counter, get guaranteed car upgrades, and pick from better cars. And yes, your free authorized users get this status too. When you rent a car and pay for the whole thing with your Venture X and decline the rental company's insurance, you get primary collision damage waiver insurance. This covers theft or damage to the rental car up to $75,000. Why is primary insurance important? It means this insurance kicks in before your personal car insurance. So if something happens, you might avoid paying your personal deductible or seeing your own insurance rates go up. Many other cards only offer secondary coverage, which only pays after your personal insurance does. Having both top tier status and primary insurance makes the Venture X a fantastic card for rental cars. Fancy hotel perks, premier and lifestyle collections. So Capital One has 2 special hotel booking programs that you can access through the travel portal, giving you extra perks at certain hotels. The Premier Collection. This is basically like Capital One's version of Amex's Fine Hotels and Resorts. Book these through Capital One Travel and you get perks like $100 experience credit that you can use for like dinner, spa, etc. at the hotel. Free daily breakfast for 2, free Wi-Fi, potentially room upgrades, early check-in, late checkout if available. Plus, you earn 10x miles on these bookings. Then there's the Lifestyle Collection. So this focuses more on like cool, trendy, boutique-y style hotels. Booking these gets you a $50 experience credit, free Wi-Fi, and again, potential room upgrades, early check-in, and late checkout when available. You also earn 10x miles here as well, and usually there's no minimum stay needed for these perks, though the hotel might have its own rules. The good news is you can use your $300 annual travel credit towards these bookings in either of these collections. Quick look at protections. Being a Visa Infinite card, the Venture X comes with a bunch of travel insurance protections. Here are the highlights. Trip cancellation and interruption insurance. If you have to cancel or cut your trip short for covered reasons like getting sick or severe weather, you can get reimbursed for non-refundable costs, usually up to $2,000 per person. Just be aware of exclusions, like for pre-existing conditions. Trip delay insurance. If your flight is delayed more than 6 hours or requires an overnight stay, you can get reimbursed for reasonable expenses like meals in a hotel up to $500 per ticket. Lost luggage insurance. This covers you if the airline loses your checked or carry-on bags. Travel accident insurance provides coverage for certain serious incidences when traveling on a plane, train, etc. if you paid with card. Emergency assistance gives you access to 24/7 helpline for things like medical or legal referrals or help arranging emergency transport. You still have to pay for these actual services, but they do help you find them. So the Venture X does not charge foreign transaction fees when you use this outside of the US. This is essential for international trips. Many other cards slap you with a 3% fee on every purchase abroad, so this is a great money saver. Okay, you've earned all these miles. Now, how do you actually use them? Capital One gives you flexibility from super simple to potentially super valuable. The simplest method is to use a purchase eraser. So just use your Venture X to pay for travel, flights, hotels, Ubers, rental cars, even campgrounds, and then go into your account within 90 days and apply your miles to wipe that charge off of your statement. Miles are worth a straightforward 1 cent each when you do this. Easy peasy. You can also just use your miles directly when you book flights, hotels, etc. through the Capital One travel portal. Again, miles are worth 1 cent each this way. You can pay with miles, cash, or a mix of both. You'll be booking in the travel portal at least once a year anyway to use up your $300 travel credit. And here's the pro move, transfer partners for max value. This is where you can really squeeze out the most value out of your miles. You can transfer your Capital One miles to the loyalty programs of over 15 partner airlines and hotels. Why do this? Because airline and hotel programs have their own award charts and sweet spots where your miles can get you way more than 1 cent in value, especially for things like fancy business or first class international flights or just finding great hotel deals. The good news is that most partners transfer at a 1-to-1 ratio. That means that 1,000 Capital One miles become 1,000 partner points or miles. You usually need to transfer at least 1,000 miles at a time. There are a few exceptions where you get less. For EVA Air, transfers are 2 to 1.5. So 1,000 Capital One miles gives you 750 EVA miles. For Accor hotels, transfers are 2 to 1. So 1,000 Capital One miles is 500 Accor points. And for JetBlue, transfers are 5 to 3. 1,000 Capital One miles is 600 JetBlue points. So some partners consistently offer a great value. Air Canada Aeroplan. This is one of my favorite transfer partners. I love transferring points to Aeroplan. It's great for booking United flights or other Star Alliance partners, and it lets you add stopovers for cheap. British Airways, Avios. So this is a One World partner. Awesome for short, direct flights on partners like American Airlines. Plus, you can move Avios to other programs like Qatar, Iberia, etc., opening up more options. So booking fancy Qatar Q suites with Avios is a popular and aspirational move. Turkish Airlines, this one's Star Alliance, famous for some amazing deals, although this program was better before they devalued in 2024. Also, their website and customer service leaves a lot to be desired. However, you can book flights from anywhere in the US to Hawaii and back on United Metal for only 10,000 miles each way, which is just insane value. And then there's Virgin Red, Virgin Atlantic. So great value on Virgin's own flights and some partners. You can even fly to Europe in business class for as little as 29,000 miles and about $250 in taxes. All right, so we've covered a lot. Let's boil it down. Is the Capital One Venture X the right card for you in 2025? Here's the good stuff. Awesome value. That $300 travel credit plus 10K anniversary miles combo makes the $395 fee really easy to justify if you use them. It basically pays for itself. There's also simple, strong earning. So the flat 2x miles on everything is super easy and adds up fast. You get great access to Capital One's own lounges and Priority Pass. Authorized users, this is amazing, adding up to 4 users for free who also get lounge access. Sweet travel perks, so global entry, TSA pre-check credit, and top tier Hertz status is useful. Solid protections with primary rental car insurance. Flexible miles, transferring to airlines can unlock huge value. And then there's the not so good stuff. So that upfront fee, $395 is still $395. You need to be sure that you'll use the benefits. The travel portal is needed. In order to use the $300 travel credit, you need to use the travel portal at least once. Hotel transfers are limited, so not many direct hotel partners compared to Chase and Amex, which might matter if you're loyal to a specific hotel chain. And this card can be tough on approvals, so you need excellent credit and they can be picky about recent applications. I would not apply for this card if you just did an Apparama for like 5 other credit cards right before applying. This is because Capital One pulls from all 3 credit reporting agencies when you apply, and they are inquiry sensitive. A way to get around this is to freeze one of your credit reports when you apply. I would suggest going into Credit Karma and look at your TransUnion and Equifax reports. See which report has the highest amount of inquiries and then freeze that one. Credit Karma only shows you 2 of your credit scores, TransUnion and Equifax. Experian is the 3rd bureau. You can review that one as well separately because for some people, Experian might have more pulls on it. Whichever credit bureau has the most pulls, aka inquiries, that's the one that you want to freeze before you apply. You would be surprised at how the numbers can vary between the bureaus. Compared to the heavy hitters like the Amex Platinum with almost a $700 fee, or the Chase Sapphire Reserve $550 fee, the Venture X at an almost $400 fee holds its own in a really interesting way. It might not have as many random statement credits as the Platinum or the higher points on dining like the Reserve, but its lower fee compared with the easy to get $300 credit and $100 plus anniversary bonus makes its core value super strong. And seriously, those free authorized user perks are like a game changer for many people. Who might want to look elsewhere? Well, if you don't travel often enough to utilize the $300 credit or lounges enough, then this card probably isn't for you. But truly, if you travel at least once a year, this really shouldn't be a problem. You might not want this card if you hate booking through third-party portals and always book directly with airlines and hotels, which I understand because I feel the same way. But in this case, I would recommend just booking a hotel through the portal to get, your $300 credit and then confirming your reservation with the hotel by email to make sure that there are no surprises at check-in. I'd still avoid flight reservations through the portal personally. I don't know. Honestly, I really think that this is just a solid card for almost every type of traveler. The bottom line is the Capital One Venture X is still a fantastic premium card in 2025. It has great credits, easy earning structure, amazing authorized user benefits, and solid perks, all for a fee that's much easier to swallow than its main competitors. I consider this card to be a keeper card despite the high annual fee. All right, so that is the deep dive on the Capital One Venture X in 2025. What do you think? Is this the right card for you? Let me know down in the comments. If you'd like to apply for this card, then you can find my referral link in the description of this video. If you use it, then I'll receive a small bonus at no cost to you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also check out my blog, mileswithmary.com, where I share all of my best points and miles strategies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.